All right, this was an exciting game to watch. There was breakaways, there was amazing saves, there was big hits, everything. There was shorthanded goals. There wasn't any power plays. Don't get too excited, okay? Any case, before we jump into it here, I want to mention just a couple players from both teams. Shen and Tarasenko. Shen now has, in 14 playoff games, going into this game, has had 11 games without a point. And Tarasenko, in 14 playoff games, is 9 games without a point. Now, Tarasenko at least gets an assist in this one. Shen does not. And that's a really big knock on St. Louis. And it's so bizarre, isn't it? Because Luke Shen, Braden Shen's brother, who's a defenseman now with the Vancouver Canucks, for the first time in a while, has had a good year. He played really well in Vancouver. It's like both Shen brothers can't play good at the same time. That'd be an interesting stat to look up. Please, somebody do this and let me know. Put it in the comment section down below. Then there's also Steen, Alexander Steen. I know he's kind of mellowed off the past, couple, 2-3 years now, and he's had injuries, blah blah blah. But he needs to chip in a little bit, and he does in this game. He actually has a beautiful pass, primary assist that we'll get to later. Now on the San Jose Sharks side, Evander Kane, he just has really point wise disappeared. Now he's getting in some hits here and there, but he's just not getting on the board. And then Erik Karlsson. Yeah, he's got points. This isn't about his points. He looks injured. He looks like he seems to be having groin issues because his speed, and especially his breakout speed is really flat. Players are beating him to pucks constantly. He's holding on to his savvy and positioning, which is keeping him in and playing well to a certain degree anyways, but you can definitely tell there's something wrong with him. And I know Brent Burns plays about 45.5% of the game, and then Erik Karlsson plays just over 40% of the game, and then Marc-Edouard Vlasic plays about 32 or so percent of the game. So those three players on the ice for everything except for 15. There's 15.7% of the game in which they're not on. That was just a crazy stat. So I wonder what they're going to do with him. Maybe especially after this game, are they going to try and back his minutes off some more? Maybe they'll even try and sit him for a game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Now getting into the scoring here, St. Louis comes out in the first 5 minutes, and they look really good. They're making a lot of big hits on the ice, and Schwartz gets fed the puck from Tarasenko in the slot and scores his 9th of the playoffs, assisted by Edmondson. Now, Schwartz had an interesting stat in this too. During the regular season, Schwartz had a shooting percentage of around 6%, which placed him in 321st in the league. And now in the playoffs, has a 23.1 shooting percentage, and he's 3rd amongst active remaining players. And it was a really good shot. It looks like he's been doing this for a long time. So it's interesting to see him just flip the switch like that from one season to the next, really. The next being the playoffs. Now, for the rest of this period, other than that first 5 minutes, it was San Jose. And you really got the impression that San Jose was going to take this game. Now, there were some power plays in this first period as well. And St. Louis is 1 for 22 going in to this game in their last 7 games on the power play, it just looks awful. They had 5 opportunities, and I think only one of them looked mildly dangerous. So, what else did I want to say about the first period? Oh yeah, San Jose was almost perfect in the first period in the face-off circle. They were just killing it. Now that kind of changes a little bit towards the end of the game, but we jump into the second period here, and Dunn scores on a point shot. Jones he screened, and there's a couple players in front of him, including one of his own, and I think it might go off of one of his own players and in. But in any case, Dunn gets his second of the playoffs, assisted by O'Reilly and Perron, and it's 2-0, and it just doesn't feel... It feels like it's 2-0 for San Jose, not for St. Louis at this point. And then the tide starts to pay off, starts to turn for San Jose. Couture gets his 12th on a short-handed goal. Now, Pietrangelo really wants this one back because he basically telegraphed that he was receiving this puck and where he was going to put it, because Couture cut him off at the blue line and just took off, did a little deke, and it was in. Couture scores another one shortly after that. Not even 2 minutes later, he gets his 13th of the playoffs, assisted by Timo Meier, and this is off of a giveaway/takeaway in the neutral zone, and Couture is off and racing, and he shoots this puck from, I want to say, the high left circle, and it goes in. And Binnington's aggressive on this. He's at the top of the blue paint. He probably wants this one back. But, bam, Couture strikes again. Now, there was some interesting stats about him as well in terms of goals. Let's play off points. Since 2016, Couture is second in playoff points, behind only Sidney Crosby, who leads with 68, and Couture has 63. And then when it comes to playoff goals, Couture is second only to Alexander Ovechkin since 2010. Ovechkin has 50, Couture has 47. I thought that was, a cool stat as well. So you really get the feeling that San Jose it's just a matter of time before they truly take over this game. And then Bortuzzo. Yeah, I said Bortuzzo, who's been hitting everyone hard, and especially in the beginning of this game, scores his first of the playoffs, and just a beautiful one on a nice little pass and play between Edmondson and Bozak. Finds Bortuzzo sort of in the slot area, forehand, backhand, and roofs it. Just a gorgeous goal. I thought it was like, was that Tarasenko? Was that Schwartz? No, that was. I think everyone was pretty shocked. The reporters were interviewing him during the game, during intermission, and after game, because everyone was so surprised to see him score a goal like that. He also makes a really key block shot in the third period as well, to keep this game out of reach for San Jose. You can go on to the third period now, where both teams are getting a lot of chances, and apparently sometime in the second period, I'm digressing a bit here, St. Louis changed up their defensive pairings. But back to the third, Sundqvist gets his third of the playoffs, assisted by Steen and Pietrangelo. This is a gorgeous assist by Steen. He kind of like... He's skating forward, he's getting cut off towards the net, and he turns around and passes it back and around him right to Sundqvist, who's opened the slot. Jones has no chance on this, and it's 4-2, San Jose. This third period went very, very fast. There weren't that many whistles. There was a couple of high sticks and trips that weren't called in this one, but there still was a couple of power plays. San Jose's taken just too many penalties in this. And towards the last 5 minutes of this game, Hertl and Mir both get hurt on plays directly affected by their own players. I think one of them is maybe a high stick, and one of them is a puck in the face, that kind of thing. I think, was it Hertl who actually left the ice for a while? So hopefully they're both back for Game 3. And there you have it. Let's talk about team stats. Faceoffs were 31-22 for the Sharks. Power play, 0 for 2 for the Sharks, 0 for 5 for St. Louis. Yeah, I mean, they were talking about during an admission in the panel about how usually if a team has a bad power play during the playoffs, they at least have an amazing penalty kill. And you can pretty much well say that of both teams, especially San Jose, though. But I think Boston's the only team left with amazing specialty teams, especially power play. A consistent, deadly power play at that. Hits were 35-29 for the Blues. Giveaways were 14-11 for San Jose. Takeaways were 14-6 for San Jose. Block shots were 20-15 for St. Louis. Shots in the first period were 9-6 for San Jose, were 9-6 in the second for St. Louis. In the third, it was 11-10 for the Sharks, and overall, it was 26-25 for San Jose. The goalies in this game. Bennington gets the win, of course, saves 24-26 with a .923 save percentage. He's now 9-6. In the very end there's a couple of highlight reel plays where Bennington makes a couple of back-to-back saves, one off a rebound that is knocked out of the air by a San Jose player. I want to say, is it Couture or Pavelski? I can't remember. And go check that out on Twitter or YouTube or somewhere. It's just a beautiful save. He had a really good bounce-back game in this one. And then Jones, who did make some really good stops, saves 21-25 with a .840 save percentage. He's now 9-6. And the 3 stars of this game, to no surprise, Bortuzzo gets that first one with the game-winning goal there. He was a +2, was on the ice for 10:37. Number 2 is Couture with 2 goals, a +1, and 18:56 of ice time. And the 3rd star here is Edmondson, who has 2 assists, a +2, and 15:49. I always see this guy pinching, Edmondson, so much that I'm like, is he a forward? I'm catching myself. This guy's a defenseman, right? Now, and he's also like 6'4" and something like 215, 220 pounds. Big boy. In any case, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions about this game, how you think it went, what you expect of Game 3. And yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, smash that subscribe button. If you haven't already, and hey, if you happen to have any Hockey Geek friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.